No better time like the present to go ahead and get started. Thank you, everybody, for making it here today. We are here to talk about the Xbox 360 version of Minecraft. We got a panel of developers and publishers and all sorts of folks. So first we'll start off with some introductions. My name is Michael Wolf. I work at Microsoft. I'm on the global marketing team for Xbox Live Arcade, so I've had the pleasure of working with all of these fine gentlemen on bringing Xbox 360 edition to market and rolling it out to people and answering questions and all that fun stuff. And so I'm really excited to be here as part of this, and I will be playing the role of moderator today for these gentlemen. And then we'll just go do some introductions. His mic doesn't seem to be on.
Okay, let's try this one.
There we go.
All right. My name is Daniel Kaplan, and I work as a business developer and project manager at Mojang. So I've been working with Microsoft and Patty, taking some of the design decisions and organizing everything from the Mojang part.
Hello there. I'm Roger Carpenter. I'm the lead producer at Microsoft. I produce a few things, but this title is one of the titles I produce. And again, I work with Daniel and Paddy and crew, and yeah, for a while now.
Hello, I'm Paddy Burns. I'm lead on the project at 4J Studios.
I'm Stuart Ross. I'm one of the programmers at 4J Studios.
I'm Stephen Woodward, and I'm a tester at 4J Studios.
Excellent. So I think what we wanted to start off with was just a little bit of background on kind of where the console edition came from, what some of the initial thoughts were, and I think, Raj, you wanted to share some of that?
So, I mean, the project's been alive just over a year and a half now. I think we announced it back at E3 2000 and whatnot, and we had just that minute signed the project at that point, and that's when the development started. And about 4 or 5 months later, we were at the first MineCon with the very first playable version of the 360 version. A very interesting thing was, like a couple of weeks before, that version was quite difficult to play and quite awkward. I think we were celebrating literally a week before when we hit 60 frames a second, which was one of the targets we had for the game. But yeah, I mean, since then we've gone from strength to strength. We released the game in May this year, and as we've said recently, we've sold quite a few copies now, and lots of people seem to be enjoying themselves. The way it works is Microsoft is the publisher, Mojang is the developer, and Mojang hire 4J Studios to do the actual physical development work. So it's a kind of a three-way triangle of development, which is unusual in most games development, but it seems to work pretty well. And here we are today. Many, many updates later, we're here.
Yeah, and I think the updates you bring up, the game itself has evolved significantly since the day that we unveiled it for the first time at MineCon in Las Vegas a year ago, and then even to what it is today. So, I'm going to kind of start off with a few questions, but I know that we also want to kind of open up the questions to the audience. So I'm going to fire off a couple questions for you, Raj and Patty and Daniel. So just to start off with, can you kind of talk a little bit about what the thought process was between getting the game out the door and launching it in May of last year, and then the process that you've kind of gone through from then to now, and the thoughts behind the updates and continuing support?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, the process, we've always been. The idea behind Minecraft on Xbox has been in, for want of a better word, for the long haul. So just because usually when you release an Xbox game, you kind of release it, that's it, everybody has a nice bit of rest time, and then you may do some map packs or something like that later on. Minecraft was never, on Xbox, was never conceived that way. We have the benefit of seeing what the PC version's done and how it's progressed through all its updates. So the plan was to always support the game through an update process to deliver more and more content to the players as time went on. It was important for the whole community that we did that on the Xbox. So although we started on a lower order, So we started at 1.6.6. Yes, got it right. Then we knew the map was out before us of what the PC steps had gone through. So it's always been part of the case we would move through that, and we're still moving through that now. And obviously, because we're on Xbox, there are certain things that we have to tweak and change to make the experience different. The experience is very different on Xbox. It's still quintessentially Minecraft, but because you're using a controller, we've made some sensible choices in how we do things.
So when you think about, and this one's for you, Daniel, as Mojang and working with Microsoft and then approaching 4J as the developer, what were some of the things that were really important to you and were important to Mojang about thinking about how to really deliver the spirit of Minecraft and deliver that on a console, knowing that it is also going to be a fundamentally different experience? What were some of the things that you were really focused on?
Yeah, well, some of the things that we were very keen on, like regardless that we consulted with 4J, was that we wanted to maintain the Minecraft feel and make sure that our touch was still on it, to make sure that people understood that we are actually working on this too. It's not something that we've been working on with a third party. So it was very important for us to maintain the design, focus and control and the communication to the audience to make sure that they understand that this is actually our game. It's not just a port of some sort. Yeah.
Excellent. I know one of the things, by the way, folks, I'm throwing out softballs, so raise your hand if you want to ask any questions as well. Yes, I think we have some mics. We can bring a mic over for you so folks can hear.
Recently, I have some trouble with joining my friends because I have moderated networks. But my friend has a moderated network too, so he can join me. Do you think you can make a difference for that? For a custom NAT type?
Sorry, can you repeat that question? I didn't hear it.
Sorry, do you know what a NAT type is, huh?
Oh, you're talking about the
Yeah.
NAT
Yeah.
issues.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, working with Xbox Live, there are, to provide the broadest experience for everybody, there are obviously some things that we have to put in place for Xbox. So I assume you're bumping up against one of probably an Xbox Live type of thing. There are workarounds, many documented. So I would say 99.9 cases, there is something solvable. It's just, you probably have an unusual setup, which just means we just have to work around it somehow.
It could be checking out the router settings or how you're connected to the router.
There is
what
a lot.
ports are open
There
and
is a
not.
lot of information out there about how to tweak for best for Xbox Live.
Oh, sorry. The Xbox has a really difficult solution for opening a NAT type.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an expert in how to debug the NAT, unfortunately. If you get into situations like you sounding like you are, all I can do is point you to, there are very good help things on our xbox.com service support site, which will lead you through that. And if not, there's always red panic button, call someone to help. We do try and help in all cases to try and get you running if you run into stuff.
And I have another question.
Yep.
Sorry, I think everyone is asking that, but when does the mods come for Xbox?
The mods, you're right. Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of questions about mods, and it's really hard to see, external community-created code being injected onto the Xbox. And I mean, it's part of the ecosystem of the Xbox being like, you have this solid game and it can't be, hacked, sort of. And that's the whole foundation of the Xbox. So it's really hard to say, like, okay, we want mod support. What we could do rather than that is actually look at what game modes are popular and try to recreate them on the Xbox. It's not a fully, complete solution to what you could do on the PC, but it's a completely different ecosystem and they don't work the same. And that's how it works on the Xbox. And we have tried to, bend the rules as much as we can and it would be really hard to, let in external people and code on the Xbox project, because it doesn't really work the same way as on the PC. Sorry, offline? If we could do it offline? It doesn't really matter, because of the game is still purchased through the Xbox Live Arcade, so you can't really put external code into the game.
Yeah.
So it's all, locked in its own ecosystem.
Yeah, the point of modding is modifying the code base, right? To get something you want different out of the game. So Xbox, let's put it bluntly, Xbox Live would see that as a hack, which means it could be a security issue. So, right, that's kind of how the walled garden works. But as Daniel says, it's not that we do see there's a lot of benefit from trying to provide the gameplay that the mods are out there. So we're going to look at it at some point. We're going to get to the point where we're going to go, right, okay, let's see what we can do for you guys. We know it's important.
Yes,
Yes,
please.
you have a question.
I just wanted to know. Sorry, my
You forgot.
Happens to me all the time. Don't worry.
What I want to know is there is like a map limit on the Xbox 360 edition of Minecraft. Is that going to be removed in future updates or not?
Go, Pad.
Okay. It's not like we've put a limit in and there's lots of memory left over that we're not using for the game. We're currently using all the memory. That's why there is a limit. We're looking at improving how we're using the memory to try and free up some memory. But if you think about the world you've got, if you want to, say, multiply that by one side, the world you've got in a map, another map there and one there, you've got to do it all the way around. So it's not just doubling the size of memory you need, it's multiplying it. You need all the ones around it as well. So we'll always have a limitation because of the machine we have. The other way around that is to look at servers running, which we have been discussing, but it will be a way down the road before we start actually seriously looking at that.
And an additional note to that is that since we're using the Xbox and it wasn't bundled with a hard drive from start, we can't assume that people have very big hard drives on the Xbox. So we have taken that into consideration when we created the game.
You remembered your question.
Okay.
Oh,
he was already there.
No, sorry, yeah. We'll jump back.
So you mentioned earlier that you bent the rules somewhat when you were working with Microsoft and what you had to do on the Xbox. What rules exactly did you bend?
I think Microsoft could answer that better than I could.
So it's not exactly, it is bending the rules, but it's stretching the truth. No, it's about, we have a partnership that's really important, right? So the triangle partnership works really well. Minecraft is a very unique product on Xbox as it stands at the moment. There is nothing like it. It reaches a very broad audience. The Xbox version was envisaged, as I've already said, in a way that we were intentionally going to update it. That's unusual, right? There are not many titles out there that will do that. Yes, there are Call of Duties and Halos and stuff that add more functionality as time goes on, but they're usually specific to tweaking settings and making things more playable or balancing gameplay. They're important, but they're not as major as what Minecraft goes through. So what I'm saying is, because Minecraft was conceived as an unusual product in Xbox, it's been looked at in a different way when it's gone through the system. It doesn't mean it gets away with murder. It doesn't. It's allowed to get away with not even sidestep process. It's just streamlined. The process is streamlined for us. So it allows us to do updates in a more prompt way than other titles are used to. We have also done a lot of work on the testing side to try and streamline that as well. It's just Yeah, we've made the most of what's available to us, and not all games do that. That's understanding the rule book.
Yeah, I think you touched on something significant there too, is that when you really think about the way Minecraft works and how it is compared to a lot of the other console games that are currently on the platform, you know, when you have a addition to a Call of Duty or, you know, Mass Effect, it's usually through a significant download, add-on piece of content that might add in some new maps, some new levels, some new functionality. With Minecraft, we have significantly changed the way the game plays and added a lot of content just through our title updates, which is one of the reasons why everybody always asks, when's the next title update coming out? Because they want the next thing or the next, you know, functionality that they're used to that they want to see on the console version. And that's something that's really unusual when you think about how we do have this ongoing roadmap of updates that we deliver that do fundamentally change the way the game plays.
Yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, it's about understanding, something like myself, understanding how the Microsoft system works, and then best matching that to streamline the process for Minecraft.
Right. And not to say, and this is where the Xbox Live Arcade marketing guy comes to the fore, not to say that Microsoft is really restrictive on everything. I think, though, that there is certainly that approach that is important on a platform like the console, where, you know, there do need to be some boundaries and some approaches because it is a very complicated system. When you have Xbox Live, it does get very challenging, and so there's certain rules that are in place that I think we've done. Raj has done a very good job, and the team has done a very good job of delivering the best experiences possible within those rule sets. And kind of pushing the boundaries of those and having those honest conversations with some of the folks over on our console side to say, hey, you know, this is what we want to do and this is why it's important, and then being able to actually get some of those things done.
To be fair, most of the things, the bending the rules stuff will be invisible, I should think, to most players. It just enables us to deliver the product and the game that everybody wants to play. That's what it's about.
Hello. Basically, you touched on it earlier. You said you started Minecraft, obviously, at an earlier point on the Xbox compared to the PC. The updates that you're releasing, are they going to be tailored to how well the updates are doing on the PC as such? So specific things that you can do on the PC, they're doing better than other certain things that you'd be able to do. So are you going to be updating it fully? Or is it going to be more tailored to what you think is going to hit the market better? If you understand what
I think the important thing to remember is this is not the PC version on an Xbox, so we're not going to be moving everything that's on the PC over. Something that we're struggling at looking at the future, a thing like the books that you can type in. Imagine trying to type a book with your controller. I don't think you want to. So there are certain things that just won't work very well on the Xbox. But we're also talking with Mojang about slightly further down the line than we are now, maybe taking our own path, so it will be completely different. It is called the Xbox Edition, and it does allow us in the future to take a different path, and we get feedback from the Xbox community. We've got a lot of people making good suggestions. We'll see where we go with that. We also have the fact that you're not sitting at a desk with a mouse and a keyboard when you play this game. You're in the living room, usually with your family. It is a different environment, so we need to look at where we should go for that environment.
I think I'm going to jump in here and ask another question. When you look at the differences of the console 360 edition from the PC edition, two big ones kind of jump to mind for a lot of people. One is the crafting system, and the other is the tutorial system. Can you kind of expound a little bit between, you know, you guys and Mojang around what kind of went into that and what some of the philosophy was around some of that?
Do you want to take the crafting?
Yeah, okay. I can answer some of the questions. It was a lot about, you know, trying to get the core experience of when playing on a console, and that Minecraft is quite a special game since it more or less requires you to be connected to the web and read upon the wiki, the Minecraft wiki. And we wanted to, you know, make sure that we could get the game out on the consoles and make sure that people understood how to play the game without having a laptop sitting next to them just to play the console game. So that's one of the reasons why we redefined the crafting system and put in more instructions onto each object to understand how they worked, how they're crafted, and where you can find them. Okay, we got a bunch of questions from the front here.
Absolutely.
Can I actually be very cheeky and ask a question myself just first?
Sure. Absolutely.
Picking up on the point you were just making about how you're making an Xbox version. So, and using what the Xbox has to offer. So do you have any plans of integrating with smart glass? Because I think that maybe there's some opportunities there. Could you tell us a bit about that?
Do you work at Microsoft too?
Not yet.
Okay. We are discussing different solutions for smart glass and how we could utilize that. But we have, sorry? Crafting system? Yeah, but I don't see the winning of you grabbing up your phone every time or tablet. Okay. Are you working for Microsoft too? Yeah, but we are looking into different solutions on how to use smart glass, but we haven't exactly decided what we will do yet.
Nothing to tell us yet then? Okay. It's all right, I'll stop being cheeky now and pass it over to someone else.
I know this young gentleman right here has been waiting
With the sword.
Oh yeah.
With the sword in front here, yeah.
Actually, I'm not sure if the guy... Oh, he's gone. Oh, wait, no, he's here. Him? Yeah. I think he got my question.
Okay.
Did you think about taking over Minecraft? Like, they made an update, and then you make a newer update, but they didn't make that update yet. But without them, like, when they make the update, you put that update, and then make a newer one.
So spinning off and doing
Yeah.
what we kind of mentioned is we're looking at is potentially
Yeah.
going down a different fork and really making the 360
Oh,
edition.
no,
the
but
360 edition.
adding again and again. So coming back with the fork, and then going off again. Do you get what I mean?
Yes.
Apparently not.
I think. Let me try to rephrase what you're asking. Is there a thought for the Xbox 360 edition that we would follow some of the same updates as the PC version, but then also add new functionality and new elements to the console edition that are still within the realm of delivering that overall Minecraft experience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think we kind of answered that. I think the answer is yes. I know even today, and again, I don't want to jump in and speak for these guys who actually build the product, is that even some of the updates that we have now, we're not necessarily following in the exact footsteps of what came out on the PC. We started with 1.66. More recently, we've come out with 1.8.2. But each of these updates are not exact duplicates of what was done on PC. And some of the future ones I think you'll see is going to be the same way, where they're not, carbon copies of, well, PC did this, so we're going to do this exact thing. It's really more built for the console experience. Is that accurate, gentlemen?
Yep.
Wait, just one more question. And one more question about the mod part. You know that every game has at least one kind of, shooting game. What? Oh, yeah. Every game has a shooting game, like Call of Duty or whatever. And there's a mod for Minecraft. It's a SDK mod. So I think you guys should add that. Whoever wants it, because...
That'd be Patty.
Patty?
I do remember not saying to me there will never be guns in Minecraft.
Oh yeah, but there is a mod, so we'll do that too.
But we can't then make it because we work for naught.
Yeah. Oh, do you?
Yes.
Well, that's new.
I was thinking about the typing situation for the books. It could be a compatible keyboard with your controller that it won't bring up the typing screen that you normally see for the Xbox. It will just the typing screen will be the actual book, and so it will make it easier for typing. So having like a miniature keyboard on your controller, and it's just like makes it easier for typing, and then it can bring up the chatting edition, and also with the multiplayer as well. So it kind of makes it a two thing. thing for it.
Okay, obviously everybody would then need the Microsoft keyboard. Do you work for Microsoft?
No, but
you make a good point, right?
Yeah.
I mean, to some people, it would be very awkward to use that kind of device, and some people it wouldn't be. So,
And I think, to be clear, you're talking about creating a new on-screen keyboard, or are you talking about using the actual thumb keyboard add-on for the controller? Yeah, because I know, the console does support the thumb keyboard. It also supports USB keyboards. You could plug a USB keyboard in. But part of it is wanting to make sure that you're keeping people inside the experience and not forcing them to go out and get an accessory or dig out an old USB keyboard. And so coming up, I think some of that you see even in the interface of the console edition, where you can hit the button to quickly move items from your inventory to your quick action bar and various things like that, where we know that people are going to be using, primarily everybody's going to be just using a controller. We want to make it really easy for people to do the things that they want to do, and they're not fighting our system in order to deliver stuff.
so we have that, over there.
We have one over there? Okay.
You said that you were going to go off and make your own updates and not follow the PC. Do you have anything planned?
Daniel and I haven't discussed it yet. We'll maybe do that at the end of this month.
Yeah, we are still planning out what we will, release in early next year. So it's not finished yet, but we're working on it.
Just put your hand up nice and high if you have other questions so I can see you. Ah, yes.
Would you ever be thinking for the mods of letting people, on the PC Minecraft, just make their own mods to imply onto the game, or would they all just be mods made by Microsoft?
I'm not sure I didn't hear him correctly.
Well, currently there's not really a capability for you to actually create mods on the PC and then load them onto the console, if that's what you're referring to. So using the PC to create the mods and then bring them over to the console, or?
I didn't.
So the way that on the console, if you download mods, you can just put it in yourself.
Right.
Would you be able, and people make mods on the PC? Would there be a way in Xbox Edition for people to make their own mods for the Xbox?
Okay, I understand. The short answer is no. But we will, look into how we can add additional features and let the players themselves customize those features we have in, so they can create some sort of their own experience from the features we have already put in. So it could be like a customized map of some sort, but we can't really take mods and put them into the game. So that's the tricky part to make it work good.
Hey, so basically one of the most important parts of Minecraft is the replay value of telling stories, people making the storyline, and then you playing through them. So it can be just a normal, you set up mob spawners and then they're going through, they have a storyline of some sort of saving someone. And it doesn't have to be modded, it can just be vanilla, but then having the books or signs to tell a story. And because players can't make this, you're going to have it so Xbox will make their own, which then they could download and then you can play through it, and it gives it more replay value.
I'm just taking some notes here, sorry.
I think, because we kind of talked a little bit about mods and being able to do essentially what we call user-created content, right? And being able to share user-created content. Currently, right now, there's no real plan to develop that currently, but I think, as Daniel's taking notes, one of the things that we certainly want to do with the game, and again, don't want to speak out of turn with these guys, is to take feedback like that, right? Minecraft is really been built based on community feedback and what people want to do with it. We want to take some of that to the console version as well, within the limitations that we have on the console. So,
can I just add on the mods? What we're doing is we're looking at what's going on PC. We're trying to figure out what it is people are enjoying at the moment in all these mods, and then we're going to create some ourselves to try and provide what people are enjoying. Once we have that system in place, we can then think about the kind of thing you're suggesting.
All right, I have two questions. One is, are you ever going to plan on giving the Xbox version your own version of your own, like, computer skin for your character? Like your own, so you can make like your own computer, I mean not computer skin, you can make your own skin for your character instead of having to like download one.
Yeah. So the whole skins thing is it's an interesting scenario for on the Xbox version. We of course have recognised that people would love to create their own skins. The big problem is it's actually a legal issue. We are Microsoft, and one of the first things people are likely want to build is something Nintendo or Sony. And unfortunately, when we're in a situation when someone tries to create Mario skin, Microsoft would then have to prevent that from happening. And it becomes, it sounds very authoritarianism type thing to do, but it's kind of, the skins on PC aren't created by Minecraft, they're a hack or a mod to create them in. We've provided the ability to change it within the game itself, so it's part of our game. So if we then therefore allow people to have freedom to make exactly what they want, we've knowingly allowed them to create any licensed character or offensive character. And that's a bit of a problem. We would love to try and solve it in the future, but it's quite a complicated thing to unravel. So at the moment, we've tried our best to create skins that people will find interesting and entertaining, and hopefully we've priced them at a price that's reasonable. Pocket money prices is what we've always tried to do.
Yeah. And I think that's a great lead-in for us to also mention the skins that we have come out with. And I don't know how many of you have actually gone online and checked out some of the latest skins, but like the Halloween skins pack.
The Halloween skin
that
pack.
we just released. This is the plug. It's only available for a few more days, and I know it's been phenomenal that people have gone out there and purchased that. We've actually done something very, very unusual for Microsoft and pretty much everybody, where we have donated 100% of all the proceeds to charity, and we've to this point already raised over $700,000 for charity, including the Block by Block organization that Lydia talked about on stage.
Yep.
And that's amazing accomplishment because that's powered by the people who want to engage in the product and want to have these skins. It is not very expensive. It's $2 US.
Mm-hmm.
And so the fact that there is that hunger there also is a clear indicator that these are things that we want to certainly look at for the future.
So will you be adding things early, because I would love to see colored wood early, because all these super easy things, just like adding textures and small blocks.
That's not that easy, I think. Yes, it does sound easy. It's not quite as easy as that. We are looking at, we get that this one is one of the ones that comes up on our Twitter feed quite a lot. We are paying attention, listening to what people are asking for, and if we can bring it forward, we will be bringing them forward. That won't be in the next update, but it might be in the one after that.
Hello. Do you have any plans to allow some players to be on creative while others are on survival on the same map? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's something that the PC does, and again, it is something we're thinking about. We've just added the creative mode in, so it will be something we look at for the future.
Are you ever going to make Minecraft sticker books?
Good idea, Jan.
I'll be marking that down as a marketing idea.
Daniel. Yeah, we have been contacted by a lot of people about doing different sticker books and collectible cards, but we haven't really decided yet what we want to do merchandise way. We have changed some of our routines, that we're trying to make stuff that we would like to use ourselves, and that we could, if all the ideas about merchandise comes from us, it would be much more easier for us to talk about them too. So we have been changing our focus on how we create our merchandise. So probably if some of the people's kids that work at Mojang would ask for a sticker book, it could happen. But yeah, it's quite a long process, but we look into all different kind of merchandising, and we reconsider our thoughts every now and then, so we'll see when that will happen.
By the way, that was a 4J kit.
Oh yeah.
Is there any plan to like edit the skin animation of the kilt skin to look more like a kilt when it walks rather than trousers, because it's a bit annoying? We're gonna kill myself, yeah.
Seriously though, the legs on the character don't have joints in them, so they either move or they don't. So you'd have to have a full-length kilt on. So I like the idea, but it would mean Daniel changing the character to add joints to them, just for
right.
Scotsmen.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I like the sound of that idea. Very good.
On the Xbox version of Minecraft, maybe will there be like a skin editor that you can make your own skin on the Xbox?
Right. We had that question just before. I don't know if you missed it or so, but yeah, okay. Roger here just explained that it's more of a kind of a legal issue rather than, you know, feature issue, like implementation feature issue. And the reason why we can't do it is we can't really, you know, since Microsoft is quite a big corporation and someone would do like Mickey Mouse skin in Minecraft, they would probably get sued the day after that. So it's more of a legal issue rather than, you know, if we can make it happen or not.
I had two questions. One small question, just a yes or no answer, and then one with a little explanation. So the first question, just yes or no, are there going to be an ability for texture packs? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. And when is the ability for Kinect coming for Minecraft on Xbox 360? That was announced with the game.
Right, it won't.
Can I ask why?
It was just one question, right?
Come on.
No, but I mean, we have done a lot of, you know, thinking and prototyping around it, but we are still reconsidering stuff all the time. And I'm telling you this because I don't want to give you any, you know, extra hope about it, because we haven't really figured out what exactly to do with it. And the game is best played with a gamepad. And we have tried to, you know, reconsider different ideas on how to do it, and we still haven't figured out the best stuff to do with the Kinect. No problem.
Hello.
Yes.
Sorry, last one. So you talked about a lot of things that others want in the game and how you're going to implement them from fans, but what is it you want? Hypothetically, what are your favourite things you like about Minecraft, or what would you like to see?
Well, personally, I'd love to see more of a sort of matchmaking competitive style added to the game. So currently you can play the PC, go into these servers, you've got a various lists of choices, Spleef, Hunger Games, likes of them. So that would be quite a good approach to go for.
Are we going all the way along? I like the game as it is, to be honest. There's all the features that come in the PC. There's always something that's I'm looking ahead to see that I'm going to be adding that feature in a couple of months. It's something fun to play with. But really, the sort of suggestions that people are coming up with here, and they're asking sort of questions. We read the forums, and that's all. I just want to hear the stories about people playing. That's more for me what I'm interested in than the features of the game. Because my favourite thing to do in the game at the moment, it might sound silly, is just to find the caves that just go on forever and just walk around them and don't mind. I just like that exploring. So for me at the moment, it's where I want it.
I'd like to see baby animals, brewing, enchantment, breeding.
Really?
And yes, it's all coming. We are working on all of those.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I want to get us to the point where we can provide a broad range of server solutions. Because for me, that's kind of where most of the PC guys spend their time and enjoy their time. It will bring a lot of benefits for the whole of the Xbox community. Somewhere out there, we're going to investigate and we're going to see where we go with it. But that's what I would like to see happen.
Right. And some stuff that I would like to see is more like we're still iterating on, making sure that the interface works good with the controller. That is something we're reworking all the time, and that is something I am very keen on to iterate on and make sure that it works better with each additional update. So that's my main focus.
I think it's that microphone. Probably some feedback. I'm actually just really excited to see how we continue to deliver some of these updates that Patty mentioned, but also really opening up the way for people to be able to share their experiences. I think one of the great things about Minecraft is how you have these kind of water cooler moments, or these times that you can go and you can tell your friends about what happened, or you're capturing stuff on a live stream or whatnot, and some of the excitement around the YouTube stuff that's been created clearly. The ability to easily be able to go in there and share some of that stuff with your friends and get engaged with some of that stuff a little bit more is what I would be really excited to see built in. I think we have time for a couple more questions. Where's the microphone? You're cut off.
About the Xbox control, sometimes it's a little bit strange. You take the things off the PC, but they don't work on the Xbox so great. Before just took like running, it's 2 times pushing your joystick numpad. But sometimes it's a little bit weird to do that. Maybe if you can change the camera angles to the
Field of view.
Yeah, left side on the controller. Left side under the controller, the arrow keys, and running maybe from clicking in the joystick button and then pushing forward to run. And flying is a little bit strange too. Just do the hotbar, click on the right and left button, and hold in to fly upwards, right button, and hold the left button to go down. That would be a little bit easier to do that.
So you want to customize all the controls on the gamepad?
That can be too.
Yeah.
It's just like the PC, customize your own controls.
Actually, what you were suggesting, we did intend to do first, but we found the double tap, pressing forward with your stick, was actually easier to go into flying. We do know a lot of people find it difficult. It seems to have died off now. People seem to be getting used to it, but it's always something we'll be looking at for the future, giving you more control over what you can do. We have 3 control layouts, but ideally you should be able to set up your own. So once we get all the rest of the work out of the way, we'll come back to that one.
Hi, I think this was touched upon in an earlier question, but would we ever see a place where we can go to download different maps and featured maps, kind of like Trials Evolutions, like Track Central kind of thing?
It's definitely something we are looking at for the future. There are some problems at the moment. You probably know the Minecraft worlds can be very, very large. The files can be very large. So it could take quite a long time to get the map. But it's definitely something we're discussing for further down the line here.
Okay. Back there?
Will there be any more water stuff? Like more underwater animals, or maybe like shark, I don't know. Or maybe something to make it easier to see underwater, or easier to swim?
Right. So would it be more life in the water? Yeah. Well, we have been. I know that we have been talking about this on the PC side. Maybe they will hate me now, but I know that we are talking about putting in more stuff into the water, make that more interesting because the sea part of Minecraft is quite big. That you usually find a lot of water in Minecraft. But I know that on the Xbox version that is actually tweaked, so you don't see as much water as you do on the PC. So it's a bit different there. But no, I know you're not talking about the PC. Sorry?
Oh, you're just talking about the PC? Gotcha.
Oh, okay, sorry. Okay.
Oh, well, this is the Xbox 360 edition panel.
Yeah, but okay. But yeah, we are talking about doing more interesting stuff into the water, but we haven't implemented that yet. Yeah.
You guys got time for one more?
Two more. Two more?
Two more questions.
Two more.
Okay. I think we had a question over here from this chap. Did you have a question?
When can you make jetpacks on Minecraft?
Jetpacks?
Yeah. Jetpacks? Jetpacks.
Great question.
Jetpacks, yeah. We'll see. We will add those. We're not sure when, but we'll see.
I know this gentleman here had a question.
I don't know if you know about a mod called Smart Moving Mod. It's for PC, but I think it's a great mod, and it helps. It's a smart moving mod. It's great. I don't know if you heard about it, but I think you could add it on the Xbox version.
You heard that one? I've heard about
Okay.
it. No, I haven't.
Write it down. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm aware of it, and I have watched it. I mean, it's like all of the mods, we're continuously watching what's going on at the PC, so I've spotted it, so it's kind of, and I kind of get what you're saying. For all the other stuff we've done with the Xbox version, it could be a very nice match, as far as things it does anyway.
Okay, I think we're going to do one more, and then we got to wrap it up.
This is the last one.
Will there ever be some kind of feature where there's a massive multiplayer server where you don't need to have everyone personally as a friend added on Xbox?
Everyone. Wow.
I think Roger can probably answer that.
As I said earlier, I would love to see servers sort of as part of the Xbox environment. And so it's certainly something that we'll continue talking about in our three-way thing. As far as having every single friend in an Xbox server, that's quite an undertaking. I mean, it's physically, if we can provide servers, physically it's possible, but it's, the technical basis behind having 100 friends playing all on an equal level playing field is quite difficult. But yeah, it's not impossible. There are PC games out there that have much higher than 99 friends playing together. So it's technically possible to do it. If we step through and do the server work for the Xbox edition, maybe.
Cool. All right. Well, I know we have to wrap it up. I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to get to your question. But we are all over at the Disney Events Arena. We have our consoles set up over there. There's about 65 Xbox 360s. Come on by, get some hands-on. I know several of us are going to be hanging out over there. We can answer some more questions and chat with you then. Thank you again, everybody, for coming.
Thank you. Thank
really
you very much.
Appreciate it. Thanks.